Studying in Spain sounds fun, right? Well, I thought the same. Before going to Spain, I was imagining those wild parties and a lot of friends hanging out together, crazy travel adventures and stuff. But there are so many things that you should know apart from that. And things that I'm about to say in this video, I wish I knew them before I came to Spain. So listen carefully and do not repeat my mistakes. Let's go. My name is Mariana and I graduated with a master's degree in Spain. So 3 years ago, when I decided to go to Spain, I had no idea what to expect and I started investigating this matter. I didn't know anybody who would study in Spain. I didn't know how to do it and my Spanish was really basic at that time. In Spain, there are private and public universities. Of course, most foreigners go to private universities because it's much easier to apply and there are many programs in English. Public universities are less flexible and it's much more difficult to apply as a foreign student. Private universities were kind of interesting, but I would need to pay between 6 and 20,000 euros a year, so that wasn't a good option for me, and I decided to go the more difficult way, a public university. So the application process in public universities is quite complicated. You might need help of a professional or somebody who's done it before, or someone who speaks a really good Spanish and understands the procedure. In my case, my Spanish wasn't good enough and I couldn't rely on anybody who had done it before, and without the agency I wouldn't be able to apply myself. It's really complicated. What I'm going to say next is just specifically information about Andalucia. The prices at the public university a year is between 900 and 1300 euros. It's really affordable, and the price is the same for both local people and the foreigners, which is quite a good option. I decided to go for masters in Spain. I didn't have to choose a university, I didn't have much choice. I just chose a city I want to be in. It's Malaga, right in the south of Spain. And I didn't have to choose the program either. I just decided to apply for the only program that was taught in English. And that's basically how I got accepted. And became a master's student in English Studies, Multilingual and Intercultural Communication. Yay! So I am excited coming to Spain. The first day at the university, we were supposed to meet our teachers, our supervisors, and it happened. They all welcomed us in Spanish. Wow, that was like shock for me because I thought that everything will be in English, but it wasn't. So they were talking about the process, the studying, the important organizational stuff, and everything was in Spanish. And I wish I could understand that, but I just didn't because my Spanish was so basic. Yeah. My next step in Spain would be to get a foreigner's identity card. Basically, when you come to Spain, you have your visa just for 3 months, and during these 3 months, you have to figure out how to get your TIE, Tarjeta de Identidad de Extranjero, which is a foreigner's ID. Basically, of course, I didn't know how to do it. And I went to the International Relations Department at my uni to ask them because, I mean, they were supposed to know it. And guess what? The person who was talking to me didn't speak English, surprise! And the second thing, they didn't know how to do it. That was like unexpected because they were supposed to know how to do it, but again, I had to figure out everything on my own. So I did. And at the moment when I came to the foreigner's office to apply for this card, I hope they speak English there. And I am coming, all smiley, and asking the woman who is carrying my case, hello, do you speak English? And she said nothing. She just made this. And she spoke Spanish all the time. It might be a surprise for you guys, but apparently people who work here in the foreigner's office, they are not required to speak English or any other second language. So the biggest lesson that you should get from this video, the most important thing, just learn Spanish. Come to Spain while speaking Spanish, because here, at least in the south of Spain, do not expect that you'll find many people who will be willing to help you in English. Spanish is a must. Well, luckily for me, having these issues and having to deal with so many different people who didn't speak English, I learned Spanish really fast. It just happened without noticing it, without realizing it, because that was a necessity. And that's something I was talking in my previous video about how I learned the languages that I speak. So feel free to click there, click up here, and figure it out. Now I would like to talk a little bit about the Spanish people. Spanish people are really fun. They know how to enjoy life, they know how to party, and they know how to be good friends. But there is the thing that you should know. I divide Spanish people into two categories, like those who traveled, who have the experience abroad, who met foreigners before, and those who didn't. So those who travel, they are really easy to get along with. They will easily welcome you and be your friends. And those who didn't, they might be not as likely to welcome you in their group. So in my master's class, there were about 30% of foreigners and the rest were Spanish people. So most of the Spanish people were sitting all together, hanging out all together, and they were not really getting in touch with the foreigners, and the foreigners were all together on their own. So the whole class was like divided into two groups, Spanish people and not Spanish people. Which was a bit frustrating for me, but you get over it. Eventually you find a lot of foreigners, and luckily in every Spanish city there are so many foreigners that you will be able to get along with. Just you as a foreigner do not expect that they will all welcome you in their group. That's it. So I have been living here for almost 3 years, and in these 3 years I've had only two Spanish friends. The other friends were all foreigners. So as a master student, I had average 6 classes a week, and all of them were afternoon between 4 and 8 p.m. So basically I had the whole morning free. I could go to the beach, I could relax, I could do my own stuff, and then in the afternoon I was studying. Well, we barely had homework in my master's program, and we also didn't have any exams. So in this program that I took, the exams are being replaced by the assignments. The assignments are sometimes a little bit difficult, a little bit, they take time to write them, but this is something that I really like. So among the advantages of this program, well, it was quite easy to study, for me at least. I put in little effort and I would get great grades, and I could choose the subjects that I want to study and the flexible hours that we had. Also, I could choose my own thesis, what I want to write about. I could choose my supervisor, and I could choose where I want to have my internship. We had the list of the companies that would accept us as interns, so I just went for the one I liked and I got it, so that was great. But there are some disadvantages that I would like to talk about as well. First of all, I just said that we could choose our courses, but the choice was not that great, unfortunately. So we had to choose between like black and white, let's say literature and linguistics, or I don't know, business French or business German. Something that I would like to have more options. Also, the names of the programs, the names of the courses were quite fancy. They sounded good, and I wanted to study everything, but in fact the course could be kind of boring. Some of the assignments were also a little bit outdated. I wouldn't say that all the assignments that I've done and all the projects that I've done were quite useful, and some of them just didn't bring me any useful skills. And some of the teachers did not speak English or did not speak good English, and I think that's a must for a foreign program that is taught in English. But to be honest, overall I was happy with my studies. The whole experience looked like I came here to chill and occasionally study, not vice versa. So I enjoyed it a lot. And I made some really good friends that I'm still keeping in touch with. So if I could go back in time and be able to choose if I should do it or not, I would definitely do it again, 100%. Now comes my favorite part about the student life. Generally, life in the south of Spain is quite cheap. So as a student, you can survive having like 600 euros a month. Let's say a room in a shared apartment would cost you between 250 to 300 euros a month. Then you would spend around 200 on food and 100 to hang out, go out, maybe travel, but that's like the lower minimum, 600. In Spain, as a student, you have special clubs, you have bars, you have pubs you can go to, everything is dirt cheap. We were going out, having for tapas, paying like between 1 and 2 euros one tapa, or the same goes for beer or a glass of wine. So there are special places where students can meet up and hang out. As for the transportation, an unlimited bus card would cost you around 25-30 euros a month. And there are of course cheaper options, like for example, for 5 euros a year you can get a card and have access to the city bikes. The system works quite easy. You pick up the bike on one station and you drop it off at another station. So that's something I was using as well, and I think that's quite comfortable if you don't want to get your own bicycle. Also, you will get discounts when you want to travel. For example, bus discounts when you travel between the cities, or discounts for train tickets. Also, for traveling in general, there are some travel agencies who offer quite affordable trips for students. Let's say if you want to go to Carnival to another city and meet other people, you will have very, very, very affordable price. Or if you want to go on a tour, let's say to Morocco, that is quite common here, you will have a few day tour with another students, and it's also very cheap. So as a student, the life in the south of Spain is amazing. There are so many activities and so many places you can meet new people. There are language exchanges, one of the greatest places to meet new open-minded people, that I definitely recommend Spain if you want to study. In terms of social life, it's one of the best countries out there. So that's all for today. Let me know if you like it by giving us a thumb up. Subscribe to this channel because more useful videos are coming, and if you have any questions, ask me in the comments below. I will be glad to help everybody and answer all the questions that you ask, and hope to see you soon here. Bye! Besos! Adios!